Rodriguez was born here in the United States, making her eligible to play for the U.S. women's team. But that Mexican pride, ese orgullo mexicano, led her to be a starter for the Mexican team. Of all the Hall of Fame players, and there were a lot, that have come and gone through OKC, Russ was the one player who embraced the city the most.
¿Y crees que golf puede ser un deporte que más, no nomás mexicanos, pero latinos pueden apoyar y jugar en el futuro?
This sounds like a very familiar song to me. A Dallas Cowboys player who is either holding out or suspended. Ezekiel Elliott has at least done both. You would think that it's easy to score in soccer, especially considering the fact that the goal is this tall and definitely a lot wider. But for the Cowgirls' opponents, that couldn't be further from the truth. Oklahoma is not known for its scenic views. It's dry, flat, and windy, which is something that most recruits from overseas don't really find appealing. But Coach Chris Young says there's one thing here in Stillwater that can attract any recruit in the world, and that is the Mike and Ann Greenwood Tennis Center. Yeah, I wasn't really the best at fishing. I think the biggest fish I ever caught was yay big. Combat sports combines intense fitness training with skills useful for self-defense, but there is one sport taught at the OSU Colvin Recreational Center that is different from all the rest. Unlike the popular punching and kicking, judo focuses on using your entire form to flip your opponent, a skill that requires an insane amount of discipline. No matter what the intention is, discipline in the form of exercise can be helpful.
I think the idea of learning how to defend yourself, learning how to control your own body, learning the discipline required to be able to do these things is super beneficial for everyone, regardless of whether you think you should use it to fight people or not.
Judo is a sport that is extremely demanding for the body, but can be useful in certain situations. With just a few adjustments, a simple thrust from the body can make one heck of a difference. That being said, there are a number of benefits despite the physical toll. When practiced correctly, judo can be a way to learn valuable life lessons, some of which can build someone up both physically and mentally.
I was a really shy kid in high school, and then moving up here and doing this and being more comfortable with myself and my skills has made me a lot more confident.
Those mental benefits couldn't be achieved without help. Much like other sports, the relationship between student and teacher is an unbreakable bond. Whether it's on or off the mat, instructor John Bernal sees everyone who walks into his class not just as students, but as friends.
At least here, I feel like we're more like a family. We hang out outside of judo, and especially when we go to judo tournaments, there's a huge bonding there.
Regardless of the stereotypes of combat sports, Bernal and his students are making a positive impact not just for judo, but also for themselves. For Orange Nation Sports, I'm John Resendiz. Oklahoma is not the first place people look at when finding a new place to call home, and yet the OSU women's tennis team is full of players whose original home looks nothing like the Sooner State. Players like Lisa Marie Rue, a Japanese international player, makes the decision to go from the tropical climate of Okinawa, Japan, to Stillwater, Oklahoma. And she's not alone. Thai international Bunyawi Tamchaiwat and Rue's fellow Japanese international Ayumi Miyamoto are both players from countries that are geographically and culturally polar opposite from Oklahoma. But their reasoning to leave their countries is actually simple: to challenge themselves and take their tennis skills to the next level, something that Rue thinks she would not be able to do anywhere else.
I really wanted to know the level of tennis in the world, so I just decided to change the the whole environment and see how I can do.
Oklahoma is not known for its scenic views. It's dry, flat, and windy, which is something that most recruits from overseas don't really find appealing. But Coach Chris Young says there's one thing here in Stillwater that can attract any recruit in the world, and that is the Mike and Ann Greenwood Tennis Center.
Yeah, I mean, this facility is as good as most countries' national facilities, even America. I mean, you don't see facilities like this anywhere in the world except for, elite pros to train in.
A good tennis program isn't the only thing that international recruits are looking for when picking schools. Since they are moving miles from home, players like Rue and Miyamoto are also looking for what they hope to be their home away from home. No matter how hard it is adjusting to a new environment and even a new language, Young always reassures them that they're not alone.
That's what makes our team close, is because all of them are kind of going through that same thing together. And when new girls come in, we really try to embrace them. We really try to be a family.
Stillwater may not be a place where these players are accustomed to living in, but something that they can all agree on is, for now, their home. For the Poke Report, I'm Johnny Resendiz.